Hey friends, I'm back. Welcome to my channel, MBC Lifestyles Diary. My name is Marie. I live in New York and I love fashion, travel, and cultural events. And I'm asking you to join me on the adventure. So basically, friends, I had surgery and I don't really want to talk about that because this is not what this channel is about. It's really just about trying to escape reality, yes, and just deal with the fun stuff because that's what I watch YouTube for, and I hope that's what you watch YouTube for. So I'm going to acknowledge it and then let's move on. So basically, even though I was recovering from surgery, life went on. And I got to go to Broadway and see Lempicka, which I will talk about in this vlog. And I also got to attend my daughter's Met Opera debut, which you'll follow with me on this blog. And I'm also celebrating my birthday. And that's how come I'm standing on this balcony with a gorgeous view, because I'm at my second home, the William Vale. And this was a birthday gift from my daughter. So get some tea, drink some wine, settle in, be comfortable, because this is going to be longer than my usual vlogs. First event, we were going to see Lempicka, the story of the Polish Art Deco artists. But before that, Josie and I were going to her favorite restaurant, Lily's Victorian Establishment. The food is delicious there. Josie had the duck, I had the lamb. The place was hopping, it was full of patrons waiting to go see Broadway or just celebrate life. Look at how pretty this establishment is, and it's nice that the food was good. Then off we went to the theater, and the theater was adorned with paintings by Tamara Lempicka, a celebration of her Art Deco style, and they featured her artwork. Lempicka was a collaboration between Carson Kreitzer and Matt Gould. It was directed by Rachel Shafkin, and the choreography was by Raja Feather Kelly. It was an interesting show. The music, the scenery, the costumes, but Lempicka's life was much bigger than could be contained in the Broadway show, and actually they kind of simplified it, and that's what some people didn't like. Lempicka was bisexual. She had many male and female lovers, and they took some liberty with her story, such as casting her as being poor when she got to Paris, when it seems that Lempicka was always comfortable, but she lived a very long life. Lempicka was born May 16, 1898 in Warsaw, Poland, and she died March 18, 1980 in Cuernavaca, Mexico. So as you can see, as quoted by the Washington Post, it's a big, messy life, and they felt that the musical was big and messy also. But as I said, her life seemed to be too big to be contained in a 2-hour production, but they did the best that they could. Lempicka got to see 2 world wars. She fled Europe. She lived in the United States. It was a big life. I thought it was beautiful. I thought the costumes were gorgeous. The actors and singing. I enjoyed it very much. The next event was at Judson Memorial on the NYU campus. It was called The Divine Feminine, and it was really kind of a promo for El Nino that would soon be opening. But it was a panel of female artists, and it was talking about their intentions in their art, and we also got a preview of the dancers from El Nino. It was quite beautiful and inspiring. Now we're on our way to the Park Lane Hotel because my daughter was like, it's the opening night. It's my debut at the Metropolitan Opera. Let's do it up big. And we did. We went to the Park Lane, which overlooks Central Park and is a neighbor to the Plaza Hotel, because we were going to get all dressed up and to go see El Nino. El Nino, the John Adams opera. John Adams, who is called our modern day composer, our equivalent to Beethoven. So look at this view, and yes, she did it up big. And look at this grand room. It was befitting an opening night at the Metropolitan Opera House. Oh my God. This is freaking amazing. Oh wow, what a way to start. Oh, we are at opening night. Look at the park. You're looking straight down into the lake. This is incredible, not in my most wildest dreams. So grateful for this day. Hi, welcome back to my channel, MBC Lifestyles Diary. My name is Marie. I love cultural events, traveling, and fashion, and I'm asking you to join me on the adventure. Tonight is the opening night of Liliana Blaine Cruz's opera, El Nino, at the Metropolitan Opera House. John Adams' El Nino is called an oratorio opera. And an oratorio is a large-scale musical work for orchestra and voices, typically a narrative on a religious theme, performed without the use of costumes, scenery, or action. Well-known examples include Bach's Christmas Oratorio, Handel's Messiah, and Haydn's The Creation. What's the difference between opera and oratorio? Opera is musical theater, while oratorio is strictly a concert piece, though oratorios are sometimes staged as operas, and operas are sometimes presented in concert form. It would seem that El Nino has most likely been set as the traditional oratorio. So for Liliana Blaine Cruz to choose this piece and stage it as an opera was really exciting. It was exciting also for the composer. It was exciting for all of us. And with bated breath and anticipation, we went to the Met on opening night. I'm pretty excited about this. It was a wonderful production, and it opened to wonderful reviews. So I think I am just going to read some of the reviews to you, and just to give you an idea of what's going on here in this production. This is the backstory from the Metropolitan Opera. Eminent American composer John Adams, who co-wrote this with Peter Sellers, returns to the Met after a decade-long hiatus from the company premiere of his acclaimed opera oratorio, which incorporates sacred and secular texts in English, Spanish, and Latin from biblical times to the present day, in an extraordinary dramatic retelling of the Nativity. El Nino brings together three of contemporary opera's fierce champions, all of whom make highly anticipated company debuts. Marin Aslop, one of the great conductors of our time, who has led more than 200 new music premieres. Soprano Julia Bullock, a leading voice on and off stage, and path-breaking bass baritone Devon Tynes. Radiant mezzo-soprano Janae Bridges and Daniela Mack take turns completing the principal trio. The moving, fully staged new production also marks the Met debut of Liliana Blaine-Cruz, resident director at Lincoln Center Theater, who received universal acclaim for her Tony-nominated 2022 production of The Skin of Our Teeth. Her design team includes Adam Riggs for set design, Montana Levi Blanco for costume, Hannah Walensky for projections, Yi Zhao for lighting, puppet designer James Ortiz, choreographer Marjani Forte Saunders, and sound designer Mark Gray. New York Times Critics' Pick states, El Nino arrives at the Met in lush glory. The air of triumph as the curtains came down on Tuesday night owed as much to the piece as to the director Liliana Blaine-Cruz's vibrant and infectiously exultant production. Breathtaking image, almost as inspiring to see as it was to hear John Adams' marvelous work. Julia Barlock was a knowing, self-assured young mother-to-be. Janae Bridges, with a voice both voluptuous and statuesque, sang with depth. Devon Tynes sang with warm shades and a beguiling elasticity. Trailblazing conductor Marin Alsop made her long overdue Met debut to much applause. An eye-popping El Nino at the Met, a radiant vision from director Liliana Blaine-Cruz, makes the story feel like a living thing. The softness and vulnerability of Julia Bullock's voice cloaks its steely force. Janae Bridges brought a regal bearing, her tone velvety and generously full. Devon Tynes inhabited the roles of Joseph, King Herod, and the Lord himself with his rich, smoky baritone. Conductor Marin Alsop delivered marvelous nuances and detail. The chorus was in fabulous form. Blaine-Cruz's immense vision collapsed the distance between heaven and earth, and it feels like a small miracle. This from the Washington Post. I can attest to all this acclaim. As I watched the scenes unfold before me, I was totally mesmerized and moved by the music. I didn't want to take my eyes off the stage, and therefore I didn't need to read the subtitles for the Spanish and the Latin that was going on. The story was clear to me, and I didn't want to miss anything. This is my review. I was taken away as usual and found everything happening before me so incredible. They should be proud. I think they should win everything for this. What a wonderful collaborative team. And they had the Marys giving birth on stage, and I felt like a mother that had received a new grandchild. It was that incredible. After this tremendous opening, there was, of course, a celebration in the restaurant in the Met Opera House. Glory, happiness, joy that this was a feat well accomplished.
Congratulations. People are loving the show. The reviews are absolutely incredible. I have not had a chance to see it yet, but I will see it, and I'm looking forward to it. But Liliana, I mean, the Nativity is a story that has obviously been told many times in many, many different ways, but what makes this show different and so special?
Sure. Well, thanks for having us. I'm excited. One, I think, one of the ways I've been thinking about the show is that it's a story about migration. It's a story about women traveling to find safety for the future. And so this production in some ways embodies a a kind of lush universe of people looking for safety. And I think it's been wonderful working with folks like Julia and Janae and Devon, who kind of bring a new take into that universe.
So even though it's an old story, it feels present and modern in so many ways, right?
Yeah, that's right.
So Janae,
Such a beautiful score, and it's a beautiful world that Liliana has created. And as an opera singer, you know, we sing in many different languages. I think I've sung in 10 or 11 languages. So it's just kind of a natural thing at this point for me. And it's just one of the many beautiful aspects of what we do.
Liliana, I understand you first fell in love with opera at the Met when you were younger.
That's correct.
Is that right? Talk about that experience and what it means now to be making your debut at the Met.
You know, it's amazing. So it was me and my parents. We're running through the rain. We're late. And we're getting in just at the last moment. The lights are going down and the infamous chandeliers are going up. And I'm like, what is this universe that I'm entering into? And then we're sitting in. My dad had gotten us good tickets. And all of a sudden this red curtain goes up. And, you know, I'm like 9 years old. And I'm like, what is this? And it's this, you know, probably Zeffirelli set and massive. And I think to be at this moment now to like represent, you know, Haiti and Latin American countries and to like put that on that massive stage and that massive scale has been like a dream come true. It's kind of surreal. I feel really moved to be able to have myself now and my childlike self kind of existing.
Hey, there are so many people who haven't experienced the opera, whether it's access, it's maybe not close to them, or they're maybe intimidated by it. They think, I don't know if I'll get it or understand it. What do you say to people? Because I know I fell in love with the opera moving here to New York, and it's one of those things where I'm like, am I going to enjoy this?
Right.
What do you say to people who haven't experienced it?
Well, I love this. What I say is opera is for everyone. Opera is for all. It is such a beautiful art form, and I'm so grateful to be in the midst of an era where it is so inclusive, you know, and Liliana Blanc Cruz, you know, having black and brown people on stage is something relatively new. So I think that, you know, with this new kind of world that we've created and that we're entering, everyone is welcome. They've always been welcome, but now more than ever, we want everyone to be in the house, you know, and I'm just grateful to be a part of this time, you know, in history where opera is, I think, such a booming art form, and it's only gonna go up from here.
Especially with singers like Janae.
Exactly.
A 9-minute monologue, La Annunciación, and it's amazing. It's amazing.
It's fun. It's a fun time.
Janae, Liliana, so thrilled to have you. Congratulations on all the success of the show so far. And remember, you still have 6 more chances to see El Nino at the Metropolitan Opera before it closes next month.
After the euphoria of opening night, we're back to our suite looking into Central Park. I love taking pictures of brides. This time I got a picture of the groom. And we, of course, had my favorite activity, which is ordering breakfast in. And look at how beautifully it was served as we gazed out over the park. It was wonderful. And then off we went to the William Vale for my birthday present and the continuation of my birthday celebration. So this room is incredibly gorgeous. My daughter knew what would resonate with me, and that's a beautiful view of the river. And look at how the sky is so gorgeous and the lights of the city. And on the 22nd floor overlooking everything, the eye just keeps going. And I was grateful. I was grateful for everything that had occurred, and I was floating on a high. It was wonderful that the opera was well received, and I felt like that was the best birthday gift, the happiness of my child. This was incredibly soothing. I spent quite a big part of the morning just looking at the activity on the river and enjoying the beauty of this scene. We're in Williamsburg. It's so walkable. So that's what we did. We went for a walk and ended up at this wonderful sushi place called Sugarfish. And it's got 3 levels of a fixed price menu. And you pick one and you get a 3-course meal. It's delicious. And then we continued walking and went somewhere else for dessert. I did a little bit of shopping, and then I came back to enjoy my view and just feel the happiness of doing nothing. And we had gone up to Westfield or Westlake, the rooftop, to just feel the vibe, just look at the people. And there was a crowd for the sunset. And my husband looked at me and goes, "We have the exact view on our balcony." I'm like, "Yeah, but I just wanted to see the crowd." And then we went down to our room and enjoyed it. Next morning was my birthday. So, of course, I ordered breakfast in, my favorite thing to do. Admired the views some more and started getting ready to go celebrate. The celebration was walking around Williamsburg. So this time we went out and I got to go to a furniture store called Die For, and I had watched this on Architectural Digest, and I knew the owner tended to source her products from Bali and Costa Rica. So it was nice looking at the exotic. And then after that, we went to the restaurant Isa, which is right across from the William Vale. And the food was pretty good. I had a fish sandwich. My husband had a burger. The restaurant also does like these specialty cocktails, and they have a happy hour. But, I was just hungry, so the food was quite satisfying. Then I walked over to the park that I could see from my balcony and sat there and chilled, and people watched some more because Williamsburg is a great place to do that. Took in the murals, took in the river, and just chilled and enjoyed myself and continued shopping because that's part of my birthday gift. My husband just lets me buy my own gifts. So here I am, dressed in the birthday gift from guess who? Yes, my daughter. She's been spoiling me this time. She always does, but we were out and she saw this dress and she was like, "Mom, that would look great on you." And she was absolutely right. So here we are at Tuk Tuk, our favorite Thai restaurant in LIC. They work really well with us because we're like a party of 16. Here's my niece, my grandniece, my daughter-in-law, my son, my sister-in-law, my brother, my mom, my nephews, my grandkids, and my grandnephews, and just so grateful to have this gathering. Family's big, and it's nice that we get to reunite for these occasions. Plus, eat our favorite meals because we all have our favorite dish at Tuk Tuk. So it was a lot of gratitude, felt a lot of love. And as I said, it was quite an eventful week. I was still euphoric from the success of my daughter at Met because it's big, an immigrant family, and she's sitting here at the Metropolitan Opera. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Nino. Happy birthday to you. Anytime today. If you enjoyed this content, please like, subscribe, and share.